All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has finally made their selections. And you know what? I'm just going to say I agree with most of it. Eminem, not so much. Dolly Parton, okay. At least Dolly used to cross over onto the pop charts back in the days when music was truly diverse and you could hear many different styles all mashed together on one terrific format, whether it was country oriented, rock oriented, pop, R&B, even maybe a little jazzy like a George Benson type character. All of this stuff was mixed together and everybody got along great. It's kind of a microcosm, right, of the old days that people remember when people weren't fighting all the time about this stuff and we did kind of coexist and we did get along great. But today I really want to highlight what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is missing. I found this great article, and it's basically the 100 omissions in alphabetical order. So this organizes things really well. Now, they have little blurbs after each band. I think I'm just going to go through them because I think saying, everything that's in this might take a little while, but I think this is interesting. All right. So here are the top 100 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame omissions, and there may be more that aren't on this list, but here we go. In alphabetical order, The Association, absolutely. Bad Company, Badfinger, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Blue Oyster Cult, The Blues Project, Boston, Kate Bush, who was nominated, Jerry Butler, Glenn Campbell, Canned Heat, Captain Beefheart, The Carpenters, Harry Chapin, Chubby Checker, Cher. That's Cher on her own. If they want more women in, there you go. Joe Cocker. Wow. Judy Collins. Phil Collins. Phil Collins might be the biggest on this list. Ry Cooder, great guitarist. Country Joe and the Fish. Jim Croce. The Crystals. Dick Dale, the man who invented surf guitar. The Damned, yeah, a real British punk band who definitely influenced a lot of people. Delaney and Bonnie, Lee Dorsey, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Fairport Convention, Marianne Faithfull, the Flying Burrito Brothers, who basically influenced all the other country rock bands that came later. Foreigner, Peter Frampton isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's crazy. The Jay Giles Band, obviously. Leslie Gore, Grand Funk Railroad, the Grassroots, amen to that. The Guess Who, double amen to that. Emmylou Harris, who basically sort of walked that line between country and rock, especially in the 1970s. Very influential. Richie Havens, Herman's Hermits, John Hyatt, who is one of those brilliant underground guys who I really got into back in the 1980s. Humble Pie. Humble Pie is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Iron Maiden, they've been nominated a few times, but they're not in. Tommy James and the Shondells, duh. Jan and Dean. Jethro Tull is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tom Jones, hey, why not Tom Jones, right? Ben E. King, man, King Crimson, Gordon Lightfoot. I don't know. I think they have this thing against Canadians. Little Feat. Oh, man. That one is mind-blowing. Los Lobos. Pretty cool band. Very influential. Love, which is a 60s band featuring Arthur Lee, Lonnie Mack, great guitar player, John Mayall, who I've mentioned recently. MC5, and again, I'm not a big MC5 fan, but they're on the list here. Meatloaf, who just recently passed away. The Meters, the Monkees. Yeah, the Monkees, absolutely. Mott the Hoople, Influence, Mountain with Leslie West, one of the great guitar players that people have forgotten about. Willie Nelson. Yeah, if you're going to put Dolly Parton in, you got to put Willie Nelson in, because I think Willie Nelson's impact on rock, especially guys like Neil Young and John Mellencamp, is really very much a factor. The New York Dolls, I don't really care about the New York Dolls. Harry Nilsson, yes. Phil Oakes, maybe. Graham Parsons, maybe. Teddy Pendergrass, amazing. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, just an amazing group. Poco. Oh, man. Iggy Pop, okay. John Prine, yep. Procol Harum, duh. How about Quicksilver Messenger Service? I don't know if their catalog is big enough, but really interesting band. Paul Revere and the Raiders. Insane that they're not in. Cliff Richard and the Shadows. Okay. Johnny Rivers. Yeah, Johnny Rivers had a ton of hit songs and very influential. Diana Ross as a solo artist. Yes. Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. What the heck is wrong with the world? Boz Scaggs. Yup. The Shangri-Las. See, this is a pretty long list here. The Sir Douglas Quintet. The Spinners. Yes. Squeeze. I mean, that was a band that was so big with the critics, and it's really weird how now nobody cares. Steppenwolf, one of my big pet peeve bands. Television, I don't know. They're a punk era band. Just don't know enough about them. 10 Years After, there's another huge band from the 60s and 70s. Joe Tex, it's a soul singer from the 1960s. Thin Lizzy, yeah, pretty influential. Rufus Thomas from the Stax Records label era, amazing. Three Dog Night, duh, just an amazing band. Toto is not in, yes. The Turtles aren't in. Junior Walker and the All-Stars, amazing. The band War, another fantastic soul group. Dionne Warwick, who was nominated this time around, didn't get in. Barry White. Barry White's not in. That's crazy. Johnny Winter. That's even crazier. Steve Winwood. Hello. Link Ray. I don't know much about Link Ray. Warren Zevon. Absolutely, 100%. He's another guy who was loved by the critics, and watching Warren Zevon go through what he went through at the end of his life, that was kind of rough. But there you have it. Those are 100 names, I would say about 90% of which I believe should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is what's been going on for years and years, and I'm sure you have even more names that aren't on that list, but that just goes to show you how off this institution is. So in any event, I guess we celebrate the current crop of inductees. The Judas Priest thing is kind of weird. They got in, right? But it says they're getting this award. So are they in because of the award? Are they getting in and getting the additional award? It's a little fuzzy because every article I've read puts everybody else at the top and then has this thing about Judas Priest. So it sounds like they're in because everybody's celebrating over at JP Incorporated. So we can just be thankful. They put in a rock band. Eminem gets in, though. It's Eminem. but this list here, just Bad Company is not in, but Eminem is in. Okay, sure. All right, people, I'm done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, Patreon for $1 a month, and please support the channel if you can, and I will see you soon.